Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showcasing the new Sony released Resident Evil 7 Biohazard trailer. Now this trailer is titled Lantern, and you'll see why that is in the video itself. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over the video and I'm going to be freezing points for you guys and showcasing some of the specific things and some insight. And I've basically analyzed the trailer point to point. I literally went over this frame to frame for you guys. So if I missed anything, I apologize. I literally went over this frame by frame, but if I did miss anything on the off chance, just leave a comment in the section below and tell me what you guys saw, if you saw anything different or anything I might have missed out, or if you've seen any references that I might have not have gotten, then just feel free to leave a comment about that. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a subscribe, and that will tell me to make more future videos like this. I would appreciate any feedback you guys can give, but without any further delay, let's all enjoy what I've got to offer. So the first thing I want to mention here, guys, is it does seem that this is a found footage trailer. It seems that we, as the viewer, are in the perspective of somebody who's found the videotape to this. And that is kind of important to mention because I'll be going over something in a few seconds after watching a little bit more. So just keep that in mind that it's a found footage video.
Ethan, if you find this, I know I can't expect anything from you. I don't know what happened. There's so much that you need to know.
So the first thing we learn here in this trailer, it seems that we are viewing the video from the perspective of a female. Now she seems to be in her early 20s to maybe mid 20s, and she's talking to somebody called Ethan. Now she's not expecting any help to arrive from this person, which leads me to two conclusions, which is either something's happened to alter and break their relationship and cause some harm to that, or the other thing is that something really crazy such as an accident has split them up, which both scenarios seem quite plausible to me, to be honest, so it's not like we can really judge anything here. And the other thing I'd like to say is based on her tone and the way she's saying it, it kind of sounds like a final will, and there's only one person you would really make something to that if you're just specifically saying one person, which is probably a partner, somebody that she probably shares a close romantic attachment with. It seems like we can find ourselves in a forest. The player seems to have been found by some kind of enemy. I can't really tell anything from this screenshot. I'll take a closer look, but it's very hard to discern anything here. The only other prominent feature than the monster on the screen seems to be that a little bit of the forest is lit by maybe what looks like a lamppost or some other lighting. So if you're looking here, it really is difficult to make out really anything that's too discerning. All I can really see, it basically looks like a wax model, but there's one thing that I did manage to see is that it's holding a lantern, so this seems to set in with the theme of the demo title, which is Resident Evil Biohazard Lantern Trailer. So we'll see where this goes anyway. Now there's something really interesting I noticed here. Now don't quote me on this. This could just be a game oversight, but I'm really sure it's not. If you look at the hands, you can see both hands of the character. Now this actually shows that it might actually be a GoPro camera that she's using or something of that caliber, which more would indicate that this is set in the modern era once again rather than a past like the previous demo.
I can't let her catch me again.
Wait a minute. Did we all just hear that right?
I can't let her catch me again.
Could this be a link back to the female ghost we saw in the previous demo? It's starting to seem like that could be quite possible at the moment. Looking at the previous demo, we did see quite a few paranormal elements, and I looked at this screen and there is nothing behind the door that could be causing it to be closing, and based on the direction of it, there's just nothing could be there. So this looks like, is there more paranormal events being added to the new Resident Evil? Is it going to be more of a superstitious game? I think this is looking like it's gonna be quite likely, to be honest now. So it looks like the protagonist is trying to climb through the house to find an exit to it, and it looks like we've come to an upstairs region based on where the window looks at, and also it looks like there's only 3 possible ways. There's a left, a right, and there's a backwards. Now, based on this, it looks like the protagonist is being chased because of this, the fact they've had to escalate upstairs, which is interesting.
I need to hide. I need to hide.
So in this next section, I'm going to be showcasing off 3 screenshots which kind of give a little bit of a more better detailed presence of what we're dealing with here. And it actually looks like we're dealing with a feminine figure with a dress. And this dress is very interesting because it is longer than the dress that was seen on the ghost type girl in the previous demo. I'm not sure if this is indicating if it's the same girl and this is just set in a future period and things have changed a little bit about her design since then, or if this is more of an indication that there's some kind of virus or something that has infected multiple people and that they all share a similar theme but they have little variances and differences. Now this is quite interesting. Now the other thing I noticed about this screenshot is it gives some good lighting off on her facial features and her hair, and you can definitely see that this is a girl. So this definitely coincides with what the protagonist was saying earlier about being chased and she can't be caught by her. Here we're presented with the first real glimpse of what we're actually in, the area and the location. Now it does seem to be some kind of swampy area, and all of these houses seem to be built on stumps around a forest, and as you can see there's elevated platforms and it's very run down. It also seems to be in the middle of nowhere based on the fact there's no lights, you can't see any roadways or anything. This is definitely some kind of community that exists far out. And going with what the dev said that the game is going to be set previously like in the earlier Resident Evils in a mansion once again, this doesn't really seem like it could be any part of a mansion, to be honest. It seems like this video we're seeing is from an alternate location. Now, in the next scene, the protagonist seems to have moved themselves towards some kind of cellar or dungeon. We seem to see a lot of mud and flooding, so we're definitely underground or on a lower level. Now, the interesting thing I want to note about this scene is to get from a position like we were in the previous scene to a cellar. Now, remember in the previous scene, we were on a very high up position, elevated, and we were in some kind of swampy area with nowhere to really escape to. So to get to this cellar, it must have taken a tremendous amount of time, and I'm sure a lot of footage since then has been cut, so it seems like the time lapses between these clips could be very incoherent. We don't actually know what's going on fully. We're getting miniature insights into the whole situation. Now, this is the most interesting part of the video, weirdly enough, considering it looks like there's nothing really too suspicious about the scene. But if you take a closer look, on the right, you can actually see what looks like some professional looking metal crates. They look well designed, and it's quite contrasting to everything else around here. I mean, the planks on windows, they've got rundown buildings and dilapidated floors that are breaking through. And then if you also look, you can see some crates, some little boxes in the background. background, and they're again very high quality and contrasting. And now the other thing I would like to note is that it is a very wet area here and it's very run down, but the crates look really clean and they're newly and freshly opened, no tears as you can see, and it looks like something here has been opened from the crates and released nearby. And that kind of changes with the last point I want to mention here, is that there's an animal crate. Now if we look at this animal crate, it's got nothing inside it, and again it is very clean. Everything in this area looks very professional and clean. Now the landscape around it doesn't, but all of the objects are very well refined and well produced. So if you look at the animal crate once again anyway, it definitely looks like somebody has came in here and has put something down here and released an animal, and they've maybe experimented on it. They've got chemical bottles in the background as well, and it looks like if there is a cause for an outbreak or something like that, this is the screenshot that definitely has the most information about it. So guys, we get our first close-up look of the girl and a crazy voice that sounds completely demonic. This person has definitely been modified. I mean, look at the skin. The one interesting thing I want to say though is that although she's got very deformed and colorless skin and it looks like her lips are basically melting away, her teeth are very clean. It looks like parts of her are actually really well kempt and well kept. And one other thing I want to say is that if you're wondering why I use this screenshot and not one of her further out, is that as soon as it zooms out on her face, it gets extremely blurry, which I'm sure the devs did on purpose. So after doing a little bit of digging before I was close to finishing this video, I found out that Capcom confirmed that this is actually Margaret Baker that attacks the protagonist at the end. The same Margaret Baker that is introduced as the wife of Jack Baker in the first hour demo that we got to play. Now, we're unsure why she's actually after the protagonist in here and what's going on, but what we do know is that she and Jack definitely seem to be infected by something. If you look at both of their skins, there is quite a contrast between the two, but they definitely both look like they've been plagued or infected by something. The interesting thing is the only similarity I can really find between both of them is that they have cracked lips, but other than that, their skin seem to be affected quite differently. Like, Margaret gets her skin grayed out and it looks like she loses the blood color to her skin. She gets cracked lips, but most of her face actually retains its appearance and looks very human-like. Now, if you take a closer look at Jack, however, on the contrast, his eyes have become white. The veins are popping out all over his skin, and his skin is cracking up and bleeding from the pores themselves. Now, it looks like there is heavy damage to his body and eyes. However, once again, it seems like the teeth are completely untouched. Does this mean that the internal organs from this virus are actually kind of kept in a working order and it's just the exterior? I'm not entirely sure what I feel about that, but I do think that is an interesting concept to explore as a community. I think it would definitely make a lot of sense looking at the previous viruses in the game and how much they mutated the inside and tried to refine and improve it from I guess the virus's perspective. So anyway, guys, that's all I gotta show you guys. It's a full analysis. I took a lot of time and went over a lot of keyframes working on this, and it took a lot of time. So if you could leave a like and a subscribe, I would definitely appreciate that. I would love you guys so much if you could do that. And if you have anything to say on this, also leave a comment below. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, if I missed anything, because I'm sure I missed stuff. There's no way any one person can find everything. So if you did leave a like and a subscribe, guys, and you have a comment or anything like that, I hope you guys have a beautiful day.